Not all megaprojects are engineering marvels. Some are billion-dollar disasters with no clear purpose. Built on promises, hype, and political ambition, many now stand as empty shells of wasted effort. These colossal structures were meant to redefine cities, transform nations, or change history forever. Instead, they became money pits, plagued by delays, corruption, or total lack of demand. Some were abandoned mid-construction, while others opened to silence and failure. Entire airports with no planes, cities with no people, and malls with no shoppers. They showcase the dark side of overbuilding and overpromising. Billions were spent, but very little was gained, except regret. Now they serve as eerie reminders of what could have been. Here are the 15 most useless megaprojects in the world, where ambition met reality and lost. 1. Ciudad Real Central Airport, Spain. Built to rival Madrid's airport, but barely used after opening, it cost over $1 billion but closed just a few years later. No airlines wanted to operate from its remote location, eventually sold at auction for a fraction of its cost. Now it sits largely empty, with weeds growing on the runway. Local residents called it a ghost airport. It was supposed to boost regional travel but failed spectacularly. Even the control tower is mostly unused. Planes rarely land here except for storage, a textbook case of poor planning and overspending. 2. Rugang Hotel, North Korea. A 105-story pyramid hotel in Pyongyang that's never fully opened. Construction began in 1987, then halted for 16 years. North Korea called it a symbol of power, but it's still incomplete. Billions have been poured into the structure over decades. No guests, no rooms, just an eerie skyscraper. The exterior was finally covered in glass in 2011. But inside, mostly unfinished concrete, it's the tallest unoccupied building in the world. A megaproject that became a monument to failure, a ghost hotel looming over the capital. 3. Naypyidaw, Myanmar. A $4 billion capital city built from scratch. Almost no one lives there. Huge highways have no traffic. Public buildings and hotels are mostly empty. It was built in secret and revealed without warning. The city is 10 times the size of Washington, D.C., but it feels like a post-apocalyptic movie set. Government offices are there, but little else. Locals still prefer Yangon, the old capital. It's spacious, surreal, and eerily quiet, a capital with no capital vibe. 4. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport, Germany. Originally planned to open in 2011, it finally opened in 2020, plagued by design flaws, fire safety issues, and corruption. The project ran billions over budget. Critics called it a national embarrassment. At one point, lights were left on for years, with no passengers. The baggage system failed repeated tests. Even after opening, it's underwhelming, too small for Berlin's growing needs. The delay hurt Germany's global image, a modern airport that arrived a decade late. 5. Jingjin New Town, China. Meant to be a luxurious metropolis for 1 million people, backed by billions in investment and massive real estate hype. But nearly every home remains empty. The town is eerily quiet with deserted streets. Most buyers were speculators, not residents. There's barely any infrastructure or jobs. Ghost city billboards still advertise luxury living. Locals call it the emptiest town in China. It never fulfilled its futuristic promise, another boomtown bust in the making. 6. Detroit People Mover, USA. A $67 million elevated train loop in downtown Detroit, only 2.9 miles long, but it barely connects anything. Ridership is extremely low. Many locals don't use it, originally part of a bigger, canceled transit plan. Trains run mostly empty through deserted parts of the city. It costs millions per year to operate. Critics call it a train to nowhere. Some stations have closed due to low demand. It symbolizes Detroit's urban struggles, a loop that never really moved the people. 7. Trans-Amazonian Highway, Brazil. Built to connect remote regions across the Amazon rainforest, massive deforestation was triggered during construction. Yet most of it remains unpaved and unusable. Heavy rains destroy the dirt roads each year. Vehicles get stuck or washed away. It has become a forgotten route overgrown with jungle. Cost billions in environmental and economic damage, only a few sections serve travelers. The dream of uniting Brazil's interior remains unrealized, a highway swallowed by the wild. 8. Interstate H3, Hawaii, USA. One of the most expensive U.S. highways per mile, it cost over $1.3 billion for just 15 miles, tunnels and bridges were carved through sacred land. Environmental groups opposed it fiercely. Despite the cost, traffic is very low. It doesn't connect many key urban areas. The scenery is stunning, but usage is minimal. Some call it a road to nowhere. Even locals question its purpose. Beauty can't justify the budget. 9. Concorde supersonic jet. A marvel of engineering, but commercially unviable, could fly from New York to London in under 3 hours. Tickets were astronomically expensive. Noise, fuel costs, and safety concerns led to its downfall. Only 20 units were ever built. One crash in 2000 sealed its fate. It was retired just 3 years later. Billions were invested by the UK and France. Today, it's a museum piece, not a future model, fast, but ultimately useless in the market. 10. The new South China Mall. The largest shopping mall in the world by size, but almost entirely vacant for over a decade. Built in Dongguan, where few people could afford it, stores never filled up, hallways stayed silent. Dubbed the Dead Mall by global media, too big, too soon, and in the wrong place. It had a replica Arc de Triomphe, but no customers. Attempts to revive it have mostly failed. More a tourist curiosity than a retail center. Big dreams, bigger disappointment. 11. Interstate 180, Illinois, USA. A 4-lane highway leading to almost nothing, built to support a steel plant that never came. Cost millions to pave and maintain. Daily traffic averages under 2,000 vehicles. It's one of America's least used interstates. Locals drive it just for the open road. No tolls, no traffic, just asphalt and cornfields. A monument to political promises unfulfilled, built for industry that vanished, an empty road into obscurity. 12. King Abdullah Economic City, Saudi Arabia. A $100 billion planned city on the Red Sea coast, announced with hopes of becoming a new Dubai. But development has been extremely slow. Only a small fraction of the population lives there. Vast areas remain empty or under construction. Most job opportunities never materialize. Investors are pulling back amid low returns. Tourism hasn't taken off as planned. A futuristic ghost city still searching for purpose, ambition without direction. 13. The high-speed rail to nowhere, California, USA. Originally planned to connect LA and San Francisco, but costs ballooned and deadlines slipped. Billions have been spent, but no full line exists. Only a stretch in Central California is under construction. Legal, environmental, and political battles delay progress. Critics say it will never pay for itself. It's been called a train to nowhere. Californians are frustrated by the lack of progress. Once hailed as America's bullet train future, now a case study in project mismanagement. 14. Golden Key International Honor Society Headquarters, USA. A multi-million-dollar office for little-known honor society. Membership doesn't guarantee academic recognition. Critics call it a pay-to-join vanity group. Their massive HQ feels excessive for their purpose. It sits largely underused with limited visitors. Expenses far outweigh its academic impact. Students rarely benefit from the prestige. Some universities no longer endorse them. A flashy base for a fading name, a prestige project without the prestige. 15. World Islands, Dubai. A set of man-made islands shaped like a world map, built with massive amounts of sand and money. Many islands are unfinished or eroding. Investors pulled out after the 2008 financial crash. Very few structures were ever built, only a handful of islands are occupied. Access remains difficult and limited. The dream of owning your own country vanished, now a strange reminder of real estate excess. The world that's sinking back into the sea. Not every big idea becomes a success story. Some end up as billion-dollar warnings. These megaprojects remind us that scale doesn't always mean value. From empty cities to ghost airports, they prove poor planning costs big. Which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video of massive mistakes and forgotten dreams, like the video to help support the channel and share the lesson. Subscribe for more fascinating looks at the world's most bizarre, epic, or failed ideas. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching. Until next time, think big, but build smarter. See you in the next video.